meeting of Narberth Borough Council to order. This is the Caucus meeting.
Thank you.
Mr. Metcher, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Wainwright is absent tonight. Mr. Weisbord? Here. Mr. Cilio? Ms. Moffitt?
Present.
Mary Grady?
Present.
Matt West? Here. And President Uter.
Present. So, being a caucus meeting, we'll take public comment first. I don't know if anyone in the public would like to make a comment. No. I would like to accept a motion to amend the agenda for a 3A, which would be appointments of any commission members.
So
who are
moved.
here to be sworn in.
Second that.
All right, all in favor of amending the agenda?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Mr. Mayor, would you like to take the floor?
Do you want me to sign? I don't have an agenda in front of me.
Yeah, no, just to swear in the individuals that.
Cindy Rickards will be our new person on Civil Service Commission. Congratulations, Cindy. I'm going to swear you in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Welcome
very
All right, did you guys take pictures? Or?
No?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You got a shot.
Sorry. I hate doing it.
Thank you.
I was meant to do it.
I got you covered.
Thank you.
Anyone else for swearing in? Doesn't appear of stuff?
No.
Anybody else want to get sworn in?
Well, we're gonna watch you live on Facebook.
We
Two
have
for
the
one,
Bible
two for one
out.
swearing.
Sorry, I'm gonna watch you live on Facebook.
Okay, all right.
All right, go ahead.
Bye.
All right, hearing no other public comment, Sergeant, nothing. We'll move on to committee reports, Finance and Administration, Councilor Cilio. How's that mute button doing, buddy?
It's a little slow, sorry. And I'll speak loudly because I'm stuck in Canada, so.
Okay, good luck getting back.
We did not have a meeting.
Should be a healthcare
We did not have a meeting in January.
Okay.
But we do have, our next Finance Administration Committee meeting is February 16th at 6:30 p.m. For the benefit of any of the council or the public who'd like to attend, these are the 4 things we'll talk about. A review of the business privilege tax process and underlying data for collection. 2, reviewing how we and the school district and the township compensate the tax collector. So really just a long overdue review on numbers 1 and 2 as part of our tax collection process. 3, we're going to be kicking off our capital budgeting process. Discussing the current project process, starting to determine a new process, putting together a calendar, and reviewing a template. And 4, a brief discussion of desired additions and changes to the very nice new website and calendars that we'd like to see worked in 2017. So if any of you have any feedback on the latter 2 items, let us know sometime ahead of the 15th so we in the office can prepare for a good discussion. Thanks.
Okay. Public safety. Oh, go ahead.
Just a quick Finance and Administration comment. I would like to remind council members and the mayor that I sent out a request for feedback regarding our 2017 budget development process that we completed in 2016 I sent that out at the end of December with a deadline of January 20. I got 1 reply back. I would remind you all to take a look back at your inboxes. It's a quick Q&A. I think it's a very important part of our overall process improvement that we should be engaged in to discuss how we do these things, what things work, what things didn't work, and we concentrate on talking about how we interact and how we develop a budget process at a time when we're not actually doing it, or we're not actually pressured to be getting a budget done. It's a real valuable time to sit down with your thoughts and think about what you would like to see improved, and also for us to come to a consensus as to what our varying roles are in developing the budget process. So I just would remind everyone to check your inboxes. If you want me to resend it, I'm happy to do so, and to perhaps get me back some information before the next time we meet.
Would
Thank
you
you.
please resend? Please?
Will do.
I'm missing several, but thank you.
Councilor Chapman.
Thank you. Public safety met this evening from 6 to 6:30 in this room. Mr. Wurzel was with us, who was our emergency management coordinator, and he gave us a rundown of his schedule of being approved by the governor and the classes and courses he's taking, and how that's going to coordinate with our officers, fire department, and such and the like. And we had a brief exchange regarding some tabletop discussions about some things we might want to bring to the public in the future. I know questions will arise from the committee, and he will hopefully be back at the end of the quarter to answer some of those and to bring us more information. We also had letters from the community, two regarding 100 Conway, I'm sorry, I apologize, from a resident at 100 Conway, 101, sorry, having a problem, Windsor and Grayling. So it's about the Presbyterian Church and the traffic in the morning, people sort of the rush to get the kids to the school, some people walking, crosswalks maybe being a little dull, some folks just giving the tap and go through the stop sign. So that was two that we received, and they didn't want to call an officer in that time. They just felt it was sort of an ongoing, not an emergency, but it sort of seems to be a habit that people are into in that particular space. And then again, we received two letters from the 100 block of Price Avenue regarding some fender benders that were occurring from the business of the bagel shop on Montgomery Avenue, which also has an entrance and exit on Price. So cars have been bumped there, and then there's there may be some double parking going on the weekends, which is sort of blocking residents in, or maybe just a little congestion in the in and out part. That is sort of a precarious space as people come in off of Montgomery onto Price instead of sort of making the turn from Montgomery, so it's a little wonky. In that discussion, we did hear we got an email from Civil Service Commission, who will meet on the 13th of this month to reorganize themselves because they had to wait for that appointment. And I believe they will have a discussion and be able to answer the inquiries that were made. And will be back to us on the 15th. It is their hope to have an answer in response to the committee as well as council by our business meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Public Works, with Bob not here, who's the next ranking member for Public Works? Charlie?
Charlie, totally prepared to remember what was on the agenda from our last Public Works meeting, though we did have one.
Charlie.
Getting meeting merged in my mind. Is Marlene there too?
I'm here. Yeah, and Charlie, there are minutes from that meeting on the website.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, look, honestly, the meetings are on the website. If there's nothing pressing, we'll just move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think, Marlene can correct me, but I don't believe there are any present.
She's nodding that there's nothing pressing.
For the upcoming business meeting, it was more long-term items under discussion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving on then to Property Committee, Councilor Porter.
Okay. The Shade Tree, we met before this meeting, the Shade Tree Commission came and talked about doing some planting on borough-owned property. The end result of the really good conversation is that they're going to plant probably about 5 trees on borough-owned property around the perimeter of things. So nothing yet in the park itself or something like that, because we recognize that there's still a lot of planning to be done in that area. So they're going to be coming back to us with some thoughts, and Sean, I'm sure, will have some thoughts as well. And so there'll be something that comes out of that, and we'll have some more trees on borough-owned property, as well as, what they say, 23 residents have signed up for trees that they want to have planted. So this is great.
It's a big change from what it was 8 years ago.
It is. It really is. Yeah, it's wonderful. They've done a lot of work. The Recreation Board, the ordinance that reestablishes the Recreation Board was advertised today in the Suburban News. Is that the name of it, right?
City Suburban.
City Suburban News. I knew that wasn't right. And we're So that will be before us to vote on at the February 15th meeting, business meeting. We got an update from the Recreation Board, and they're continuing to dive into a number of things. But as we had requested at our last business meeting, that we would like them to look into a summer recreation program and see how that might be done and might work. They are looking into that with a wide range of things how it might work, but it's not involving borough employees. They're looking at options that would be run by a third party. Or maybe it's just it's a group of parents getting together with their kids. They're really looking at all the way around on that.
Okay.
So they're looking at.
Do you think that will happen, or there's something will come together in time for this summer?
Well, their next meeting is February 16th, and I think we'll have a better idea at that point where they are with things, yeah.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Have you, and I'm sure you have, but I'm just asking for the public, to make sure the public knows, that you have shared with the rec board the emails and the amount of concern there is coming from the public regarding this issue?
I'm doing that
Thanks.
this week. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, but I'm doing that this week.
Thank you.
I thought there was an easy way to email them all, but there is not in the new version of Outlook.
No, I
Oh,
can't
they
do it.
take away things that were so useful, so I said, all right, fine. And anything else that, I don't think so. There are some various projects being done on borough property. You know, the roof here is almost done. There's just some follow-up things to that. There are a couple things happening at 201 Sabine. Nothing huge, but things need to be done.
Questions for property? All right, building and zoning.
Building and Zoning Committee met on January 25th at 8 a.m. If you are interested in what was on our agenda, you can link to the meeting minutes. There are also minutes, or there's an agenda posted for our next meeting, which will be in February 23rd, I believe, at 6:30 p.m. And if you look at the agenda, you'll also notice that there's a dashboard of concerns, ongoing tasks, and topics that are on the Building and Zoning Committees in our discussions. And rather than repeat those every caucus meeting, I'm just going to say there's only one that needs to be discussed briefly by council members, and that is a concern that came to us from the owner's representative of the Royal Bank building on Montgomery Avenue and Woodbine Avenue. And they purchased some signs. The signs are sort of a boxy shape. And according to our zoning rules, you're not allowed to illuminate these box signs. But their signs, so they haven't been able to turn the lights on inside their sign. And they actually would like the standards to be reconsidered by the borough that would allow them to turn on the lights inside the box sign, because their box sign it's not just a box sign, it's kind of has these raised letters, and only the letters are lit up when the box sign is on, which is more similar to basically like kind of a sign that has illuminated letters. So they're kind of feel that they've been caught in a technicality that's not allowing them to use their sign. I personally, as a council member, don't really know what the right thing to do. I'm aware that we've had some concerns from a lot of your neighbors about really high light levels with neighbors that live near Montgomery Avenue, so I can understand why we wouldn't want to add to that amount of, add to the light level. On the other hand, I understand the owner's desire to have their illuminated storefront. So, question for council members is do we want to get an opinion from the planning commission on this? Is it something you just want to decide right now, or decide among council members over time? I think
I have some thoughts, but.
Yeah.
I have two thoughts. One is, I think sounds like our zoning code doesn't anticipate the type of sign that they put up, correct, or they construct.
That's what it sounds like to me too.
And-
This is
and-
sort of, this sounds like a newer technology.
Right,
like,
so,
you know.
so it seems to me that we should ask the planning commission how, if our zoning code should be adjusted to reflect this new type of sign. But that would be like in this broad overarching, yeah, like that thing, yes. Overarching, we should address this, whether we want this in, anywhere in the borough, not just there. So I think this, if this was a question that went back to them, it really wouldn't be, oh, because we want to make something work for Royal Bank or not work for Royal Bank. It would be, what do we want to do in the borough as a whole? But the other thing is Royal Bank just got bought by Bryn Mawr Trust, so it's probably not going to have those signs in the not too distant future. So they may be different signs.
I know what they paid for those signs.
I know, they made them before, I was here at the zoning hearing board about it, and I was like, why did you have those made before you even?
Until the ink
So
is dry.
I guess, but-
it's likely that other businesses are gonna want to.
Exactly, so
want to
that's why
install
it
signs.
probably doesn't hurt to have
It should be able to-
planning commission weigh in.
I agree.
All right. Do we, to make a resolution business planning? No, Bob, you can do it.
we just have an agreement. Okay.
Great.
We will do that, unless Sean Metric or Mr. West have something that's going on for building and zoning.
I would suggest maybe embellishing your request, to look at that whole section of the code dealing with signs, because it should be given the once over, and it should be looked at with some other attendant issues. Since it's such a cumbersome process to pass a zoning amendment, let's address the sign ordinance issues that we have, and what I particularly have in my mind is the issue of how do we deal with nonconformance with regards to signs. We don't have there's an elegant solution we could put into the code that I think should be considered at the same time this issue is.
Yes,
I
Tom.
noticed tonight there's a new sign on Essex. It's a bright white sign.
It's a backlit
It's
sign.
a backlit sign.
That's the
It's a
pub
Vietnamese
place.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Maybe that comes up, like, it's bright. I know what.
Yeah.
It's extremely bright.
Yeah. I think there's lettering.
Yeah, we'll talk about
The plate that goes in, like.
No, there is lettering.
Oh, is there?
Restaurant,
Okay,
right?
sorry.
Okay, well, do you can change the comment. Do you have anything further for building and zoning?
Council will consider for approval, final land development plan and subdivision plans for 424 Conway and 31 Price Avenue at its business meeting on February 15th. In addition, council will have in front of it a resolution to consider approval of preliminary and final plans for a minor subdivision of 15 Sabine Avenue. Those plan docs have been revised, reviewed by the planning commission, and forwarded without any further comment or recommendations for changes. And several reviews are underway with the 424 Conway 31 Price, which is a pretty large development for the borough, for anywhere really. And at this stage, since it's a final plan, what Mr. Walco is looking at is reviewing the homeowner association documentation. What the borough engineer is looking at is to make sure that the changes that were in council's approving preliminary plan approval resolution have actually been corrected in the plan docs. The same process is being undertaken by the county and local planning commission, which meets on Monday. So you should have that body of reviews together in time for your meeting. And if they all say the changes you suggested in your preliminary resolution are in fact reflected in the final plans, then you can be comfortable going ahead and approving those plans under that scenario. Two more things, if I can use some of your time up. Lauren Van Dyke from Montgomery County Planning Commission is developing a recommendation council of membership for a steering committee for the comprehensive planning process. That's going to be made up of members of the planning commission as well as a few members of the community. I've sent her some suggested names to talk to. She'll make some recommendations to council, and council will likely want to have some input as to that membership there. So look for that coming soon, perhaps by the 15th. Also, to follow up your comment about the light issues at Royal Bank, that was investigated by our zoning officer, and we are looking at some secondary enforcement action there on that. So if you want more details, let me know offline, since that could be a legal matter.
Thank you. Economic Development, Councilor Richmond.
We had a business breakfast last Friday that was well attended, thanks to everyone at Ridgeway, the office, for getting out the invitations.
And thanks to McShay's for catering.
Yes, they provided the food, which is very generous. There were a lot of issues that came up, and we have a list of those things to take a look at and do something about to whatever extent we
Could
can.
you maybe summarize some of the bullet points?
Yeah, there were concerns over the new trash schedule and what the summer would look like, and also recycling for the businesses that are in the strip where McShay's is, like where they can do that. Parking issues regarding, somebody keeping a spot right in front of their own business.
Employees or owners feeding the meter in front of them.
Right, so the customers are not getting it, that kind of thing. They were encouraged to fill out the parking survey and have the customers do that so that we can get that segment.
When was that sent? To everyone who put their email down?
And the other types of issues had to do with, there was a discussion about the new NEEPS owner, said that he is looking for suggestions for businesses. He can divide that space into 2 or 3, depending on what it is. Anyone with the good suggestions, yeah, I'm sure you'd appreciate the information.
So I'm gonna call that out to Facebook land, I see you there. Because I know everybody's favorite Facebook game is what should go in this storefront next.
Yes.
And you actually have a landlord who cares and is asking the community what should go in this storefront next, 2 or 3
Right,
in
2 or
that
3.
spot. So if you post that online, Ed Ridgeway will see it. You put it on Narberth Group or the Narberth Community Network, and that will get passed along.
There was also a concern about the retail stores that are not really retail stores on that, on that first level, and tightening up the code that may not allow that. So it was things like that, and so it was a very successful meeting. And our next meeting, I think it's the 22nd at 7, but it is on the website.
And I would encourage you to liaise with building and zoning on that storefront issue. I know that was a very carefully crafted ordinance when it was passed.
Yeah.
Like, probably been about 10 years, and it couldn't hurt to have a discussion about how that falls into the other priorities for the planning commission.
Okay. Yes.
Ad hoc Montgomery Avenue.
Ad hoc Montgomery Avenue had a meeting here with, we had Chris Lessling from Lower Marion talk about planning work that they're doing and looking at that area from Meeting House to Gold Road as one unit and have some sort of an identity that bridges both municipalities, and being able to do something about common parking and a zoning that would work with both municipalities to encourage development there, and other things that would work, including designing the landscaping so that it's appealing and all of that kind of thing. So, Sean, did you do anything there? Because Sean was also there.
Don't have anything to add to that now.
Our next step there is to have a meeting with the businesses on Montgomery Avenue and get their input and feedback, because, they're still working on their zoning plan in Lower Marion. They have about 18 months to 2 years. So we want to make sure, and one of the suggestions was to have our planning commission and through our office and through us, make sure that we're also having some you know, input into what's going on there, so that it's not two completely different worlds.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to agenda item 5A, motion to appoint someone to NIDA. I believe there was a legal question as to whether someone could serve on another commission as well as NIDA.
Right,
And
and-
the result was yes, they can.
Yes.
So,
There were 2 positions and 3 names on the list. There was Roberta Dunn, there was Amy Lambert, and there was Roddy McGibbon. So, we didn't see Amy and we didn't see Roddy at those, at the interviews, and, so we need to vote. And, so I will nominate, can I do that?
Yeah.
Roberta Dunn and Amy Lambert to fill those 2 positions.
Second.
any discussion? Hearing none?
Hearing none?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Of appointing Roberta Dunn and Amy Lambert to NIDA, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It is done.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
Agenda item 6, any informational announcements? Tom, all up to you. Anything to report? Mr. Metric, Mr. West? Okay, I'll move on to number 7. Can I get a motion?
I so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.